Pre-parade serenade was provided by Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. The Marine Corps has played an active role in San Diego history ever since the Marines from the sloop of war Cyan seized Old Town during the Mexican-American War in 1846. Marines have been stationed at the Recruit Depot since 1921, when most of the buildings to your front were constructed. These buildings, known as the Arcade, were designed by world-famous architect Bertram Goodhue. The Arcade is among 25 buildings that have qualified for inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places and are outstanding examples of Spanish colonial revival architecture. Since 1923, more than 1 million Marines have completed their recruit training here at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, and since 1915 at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island in South Carolina. Regardless of where a Marine attended boot camp, you can rest assured that they received the toughest, most physically and mentally demanding recruit training offered anywhere in the world. Some individual techniques and methods may have evolved. The time of his death was the first general officer killed during the Vietnam War.
Did you want me to record?
The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, sound adjutant's call, will begin today's parade. Marching in today's parade are 503 of the graduating Marines from Company C. Among the 503 Marines are 2 Marines who displayed outstanding performances in 2 individually graded events. Private First Class James Robertson from Platoon 1043 is the company high shooter, scoring a 336 out of 350. Private First Class Catherine E. Gilberti from Platoon 1042 is the most physically fit Marine, scoring a 300 out of 300 on the physical fitness test and a 300 out of 300 on the combat fitness test. They will be receiving awards from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. Present today is the company honor graduates recruiter, Staff Sergeant Tyler A. Dean. Also present today is the primary marksmanship instructor with a platoon high shooting average of 213 out of 250 for Platoon 1043, Sergeant Emmanuel Vasquez Hernandez. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguishes them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of self-control and self-awareness which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well in the proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others towards excellence in common goals. For 248 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever the nation calls, in the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies. Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Although battlefields change and capabilities evolve, history proves that true victory comes from the individual Marine with steeled resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight on against all odds. It takes that steadfast faithfulness, semper fidelis, to corps, country, and each other that abounds throughout our storied legacy. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be the most ready when the nation is least ready. To defend freedom anytime and anywhere. To stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters. To pay tribute to those who have forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of Company C, today marks the end of the 13-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton, as well as on this parade deck, and have been trained as our all Marines as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intensive physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the recruit depot. They are Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade. The next portion of the ceremony will be our national anthem. We welcome veterans and members of the armed forces to join us in rendering appropriate honors with a military salute. For guests who have not served in the military, it is proper etiquette during the national anthem to place their right hands over their hearts, and for those in the audience wearing headgear to remove it. Will the guests please rise for the presentation of the colors?
Yeah, take your hat off. That's like a national anthem. I was ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. At the command, post the colors. The color guard moves into position within the parade. This signifies that the entirety of the parade has been formed and is ready to be presented to the command. Following the command, parade rest. The parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward of the assembled Marines while playing military marching music. The parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops.
Sir! Ready for! Aye, sir!
Order! Out!
Report! Revamp San Diego! All present! Or count four! Series 1041! All present!
Series 1045! All present!
Sir! All present or count four! Aye, sir! Attention to order! Headquarters! Troop training mission! Three-car troop depot, San Diego, California! 8 December 2023! John Fidei! Captain Brennan! Captain Dave Marley! Lieutenant Santos! 5 order of P.M. Rumbler! Colonel! United States three-car! Commanding! Officer! Center! March!
At the command, Officer Center March. All unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Throughout our nation's history, millions of men and women have earned the title United States Marine. Many who have helped shape our history join us here today. In keeping with the tradition of once a Marine, always a Marine, we would like to recognize them. At this time, those in the audience who have served as Marines, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for their dedicated service to corps and country. This morning, Sergeant Major Brad Castle joins us here today. Sergeant Major Castle was the first Marine Expeditionary Force Sergeant Major before retiring after 34 years of honorable and faithful service in 2018. We would also like to recognize representatives of the Montford Point Marines Association. These Marines represent the first African Americans that overcame all laws to become Marines and serve our great nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Battalion Commander for 1st Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Roger A. Hollenbeck.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding General, Brigadier General Ryans, and Regimental Commander Colonel Rumler, welcome to Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego and the graduation ceremony for Charlie Company. I'd also like to extend a special welcome to today's parade reviewing official, whose impressive bio you'll hear in a moment. Most recently, the operations officer at the mighty 1 Marine Expeditionary Force, and formerly the regimental commander right here at the Recruit Training Regiment, Colonel Palmer. Welcome, sir. Today's ceremony recognizes your new Marine and all they've accomplished in the last 13 weeks. Gathering here as individuals from all walks of life and all corners of the globe, they stepped onto the legendary yellow footprints and into uncertainty. They dug deep, they trained hard, they came together and stand before you as a confident team of Marines, the best this nation has to offer. Now, as you might imagine, this transformation definitely didn't happen on its own, so I'd like to thank those that made it possible. The foundation of their character wasn't made here. It was made in your homes, in your schools, and in your communities. So thank you to the parents, teachers, families, friends, and coaches. Your love, your support, and for many, your signature on the contract set conditions vital to their success. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Second, our spectacular drill instructors who've spent every moment teaching, training, mentoring, and leading these Marines. The dedication and commitment has left a tremendous impact on your loved one, who will always remember and appreciate their efforts. Now, the drill instructors and officers are able to commit themselves to the business of making Marines because of the support of their families, who also join us in the audience today. So please join me in a well-deserved round of applause for the drill instructors and families of Charlie Company. I'd also like to recognize the martial arts, marksmanship, water survival, and academics instructors, our outstanding chaplain, corpsman, and the entire medical team who've done a tremendous job keeping us physically, mentally, and spiritually strong. And of course, this dedicated recruiter who saw potential in your Marine. And joining us today from Weapons Field Training Battalion is Sergeant Vasquez Hernandez, responsible for training the platoon with the highest rifle qualification score. And joining us from Recruiting Substation Cheyenne, Wyoming, is Staff Sergeant Dean, responsible for recruiting today's honored graduate. Outstanding work, gentlemen. Now, please excuse me while I address the Marines one last time as their battalion commander. Good morning, Marines. I mean, you gotta like that, right? A little dose of motivation. Well, you made it to graduation. You earned the Eagle Globe and Acre, and you earned the look of pride on your loved one's face across this parade deck. It took you 13 weeks to earn this feeling, but it doesn't stop here. We promised you a challenge, and we will continue to deliver. You must continue to earn the title every day, to honor the legacy of those that came before you, and to blaze a trail for the next wave of warriors. The Marine Corps will be what you make it, So never forget the skills, the spirit, and the values that have been drilled into you, and I guarantee your success. You represent the Marine Corps now, and you're the future of this great institution. So stand tall, take charge, and when you get home, introduce your buddies to your local recruiters. Congratulations, Marines. Thank you for your hard work and for your dedication to serve this great nation. Take care of each other and cultivate the relationships you've made with your fellow Marine. They will serve you well. Semper Fidelis.
Now taking their position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing official, Colonel Matthew J. Palma, United States Marine Corps, retired. He is accompanied by Colonel Peter M. Rumler, Commanding Officer, Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego.
Regiment! Archer! Who? Reset! Out! Order! Out!
Colonel Matthew J. Palma was commissioned through the platoon leaders class after graduating from St. Anselm College of Manchester, New Hampshire in December of 1994. He has served in a variety of challenging billets in numerous commands to include Battalion Commander for 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines, during which he deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Second in command of Kilo Company, 42nd Commando Royal Marines, during which he deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Staff Platoon Commander and Commanding Officer for the Professional Training of Midshipmen, the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. And Commanding Officer of Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. On December 1st, 2023, Colonel Palma retired after 29 years of honorable service. His personal decorations include the Defense Superior Service Medal, the Legion of Merit with Gold Star in lieu of Second Award, the Bronze Star Medal with Gold Star in lieu of Second Award, the Meritorious Service Medal with Gold Star in lieu of Second Award, the Joint Service Commendation Medal, the Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 2 Gold Stars in lieu of Third Award, and the Joint Service Achievement Medal. Colonel Palma is the proud father of Private First Class Brandon M. Palma, graduating from Platoon 1043. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Colonel Matthew J. Palma.
Sir, ready to move. Aye, aye, sir. Pass and review. Right. Hey.
The pass and review is a tradition within all military units, allowing the unit commander to formally inspect the unit under their charge. More than 1 million Marines have been trained here in the past 100 years and have departed San Diego for combat in conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Busan, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, Quezon,
Push it again.
Way City,
Now it is.
Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Fallujah, Ramadi, Marja, Sangin, and our most current operations worldwide. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, as the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of troops, Captain Ryan B. Whitehead, and the regimental staff. Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Series 1041, Series Commander, First Lieutenant Sheila C. Domke. Platoon 1041, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Austin A. Ramos. Platoon 1042, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Elizabeth R. Guerrero.
He's right there in front of us. There he is.
Platoon 1043, Senior Drill Instructor, Gunnery Sergeant Daniel J. Kelly. Regimental Color Sergeant, Drill Instructor Sergeant Rodolfo Navarrete.
Might be fine.
Series 1045, Series Commander Captain Alec J. Reddy. Platoon 1045, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Dexton J. Plummer. Platoon 1046, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant John Benedict Arremundo. Platoon 1047, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Brock M. Lay. Thank you. Please be seated. The Marine Corps' uniqueness and strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of drill instructors and company officers who train and supervise the recruits. The distinct qualities of spirit and discipline, the heart and soul of every Marine have been developed, nurtured, and ingrained in recruits through their observance and relationship with their drill instructors and officers. Recruit training is the very foundation of the Corps. Each year, recruit training provides thousands of America's finest young men and women with the basic knowledge and skills to function in a profession characterized by its own set of high values and tough standards. The most important thing we do in the Marine Corps is make Marines. The individual Marine is the Corps. That is what we do here. For the Marines graduating today, the long, arduous journey of the last 13 weeks is but a small step into the future of the Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although Company C prepares for their final dismissal from boot camp, their initial training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Brian D. Wyckoff. The company first sergeant is First Sergeant Alfie L. Sharp Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the company staff of Company C. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the guidons. Guidons have been carried by the platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units in the Marine Corps carry such guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these guidons is bestowed upon those Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and character, and were selected as the platoon honor graduates. The platoon honor graduates compete for the titles of Series and Company Honor Graduate. They are considered the top Marines graduating today and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps. The guidons will now be returned to the drill instructors. The honor graduates will now be presented a plaque by the battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Roger A. Hollenbeck, and the battalion Sergeant Major, Rashad M. Browning. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all honor graduates have been recognized. The company first sergeant will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training.